Alright, so I am a League of Legends player, and I've been playing for maybe 3 years now, something like that. And I've kind of started to take an interest in actually wanting to kind of delve deeper into how the game is actually made, rather than just, I guess, playing the game at face value. Because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that we as players don't really understand or really care about. But I think it would be awesome to. There's a department at Riot called Game Design, which is involved in creating the new champions and basically incorporating new champions without unbalancing the game. So I am going to be posting some videos about my thoughts on patches, I guess on kind of the current state of the game, what I think is balanced, what I think needs work, things like that. So yeah, every time a patch comes out, I'm going to try to come up with a patch preview, but a little bit more in depth than kind of what Riot does, because Riot basically provides you with their videos with maybe 3 or 4 examples of the kind of the overall picture, and they don't really go into like a good explanation for me as to why some of the changes are made. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper than they do and see how that goes. And I'm also going to, like, prior to my patch preview release type deal, I'm going to do kind of a more basic like overall review of the game, just to kind of explain to you guys like how I'm going to be breaking down my patch previews. So for one thing, I'm definitely going to go into detail like the different stats. So you guys all know, if you've been playing the game, like you can itemize in every game uniquely for what different situations you're going to need. So say you're against a heavy magic dealing team, or magic damage dealing team. You're going to itemize for magic resistance. Or if you're against an all AD team that deals all physical damage, you're going to itemize for armor. If you're against, I don't know, a team that deals percent health, you're not going to itemize for health, right? So I'm going to go into basically the breakdown of like what balances the game, and what I think is kind of the essential balancing idea behind the whole game is gold. So we're going to break down how much gold each stat is, so how much one armor costs you. So you say you get a cloth armor for 18, you get 18 armor for a cloth armor, and that costs 300 gold. I'm not going to try to do that math right now. Something around 15 gold per, maybe a little bit more, 16 gold per armor. So for every 1 armor stat increase, you get it costs you 16 gold. So the other thing that I'm going to apply that to is things like runes and masteries, so like ways to maximize your runes and masteries. So if you think about when you go down the mastery trees, and so say in the defense tree, if you want to buy, you go into, so you spend your points on the health, so you do the health per level, which is, I think, the first one, right? It's the, you can spend 4 points in it, and so that costs you mastery points, and mastery points essentially relate to in-game gold. So I'm going to try to break down what each different stat costs you gold-wise, and how you can apply that to the masteries, the runes, the game itself, to understand how the game is balanced and what it's balanced around. And also, this is, I mean, my overall goal is to get better at creating new champions and understanding how to implement new champions without imbalancing the game. So we all know that Riot has infamously introduced new champions that have been kind of overpowered at times, and they've also introduced champions that are underpowered, and sometimes they've gotten it just right. But I'm going to look into what exactly kind of does the breakdown, I guess. Like what you all right, buddy? What does the or what determines like why a champion's overpowered or why he's underpowered, etc. So let's think about, like, okay, Darius. When Darius first came out, his ult was essentially did what Garen's ult did, but it reset and did true damage. Like, you could walk through... Stop. This is my dog. Let's see if we can... Well, let me uncheck this. Hello, Taz. This is Taz. He's a Rottweiler. He's 1 year old now. Okay. And he's a big baby, aren't you? Yes. Okay. Where was I? Darius. Okay. Darius's ult deals true damage. True damage is a really special... I think it's a really special stat, because there's nothing you can build against true damage. The only thing that really kind of counters true damage is health. But even then, I mean, it just there's no resistance you can build against it, so you just have to max health, I guess. So with Darius, he could ult. So what did they do to fix that? They introduced a timer in between so that he couldn't just spam his ult off. So it's things like that that are interesting to understand and look at, and what I'm going to be kind of, by explaining my ideas to you guys, I'm going to be trying to understand Riot's thought process in creating their own champions and when they introduce their own champions. And I'll also be releasing my own character or champion concepts. The first one I'm going to do is called Ming, and she's going to be a kind of, if you've ever seen the show Avatar, there's a character in it called Ty Lee, and she's basically, she can block chakra by attacking pressure points in, or is it chakra? Chi? I don't know. I think it's chakra in that show. Anyways, yeah, so that's my first character concept, or champion concept, that I'll be releasing. I'm going to do it probably on the forum, just the general discussion. Nothing too fancy there. Yeah. So, be on the lookout for that, and I'll try to release my first, I'm just blanking out right now. Okay. My first overall, like, my gold breakdown, basically, of how the game kind of runs, like what the game runs on, and explain the stats, what, like, armor, health, attack damage, ability power, cooldown, everything like that. Go into detail on runes and masteries and how that stuff is affected, or how that builds into the gold standard, I'm going to call it. And yeah, that'll be my first video, and from there on out I'll probably be doing patch previews or patch breakdowns and explanations, and releasing champions on the general discussion. So if you guys could subscribe, follow. I also stream. I haven't been streaming much. I need to get back on that. But yeah, I will see you guys hopefully in my stream and on my page. Alright, thanks guys.